Good evening. Welcome to the Town of Cicero Planning Board meeting. Would you please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance? Mary, would you lead us out, please?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. First order of business is the approval of the minutes from the February 19th meeting. Any questions or comments? Do we have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second,
Second,
Mr. Duval,
Yes.
Mr. Abbey,
Yes.
Ms. Scanlon,
yes.
Mr. Wilkie.
Yes.
And I vote yes, minutes have been approved. Now we will open the meeting to public comment. If there's anybody in the audience that would like to address the board on any active application, you may do so now. Given nobody's approach, we'll close the public input and move on to the first agenda item. This is a continuation of a site plan for a proposed building expansion at the Walmart at 8064 Bruton Road. Good evening, welcome back. Good, thank you. How are you?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Of course.
Dave Rivette, partner. Newbury. Okay, so last time we were here, we had some updates to make based on engineering review comments and then some comments that were received during the hearing itself. And so I can just kind of walk through those updates that we made and any kind of comments that we had during the hearing last time.
Sounds good.
Okay. So this is based on the site comments, letter dated 1/31/25. The first comment being sheet EX1 traffic flow exhibit. So we just kind of talked about how traffic would flow during construction when that was shut down in that area. Basically, the plan would be to keep the barriers opposite of each other in front of where those gates would be, where the striping has to be when necessary. And then the rest of construction, we would route traffic around that and kind of to the north side, closer to the north side of the property, when needed, if that area needed to be shut down and when that area needed to be shut down. When it doesn't need to be shut down, it can remain open, just for, that would all be done during construction and during safety or for safety. It did say that if there were any issues causing any bottlenecks or confusion during construction, that they would address that and make sure that that wasn't, being a continuous issue throughout construction. That's kind of the update there. There was a comment about bollards being shown at the new entrance that were shown on the exterior elevations, but not the site plan. The site plan has been updated to include those bollards at the storefront entrance, and a sign has been there about pedestrians. So that wraps up that comment letter. Building comments from a letter dated 1/31/25. The translucent glazed wall system over the main entrances was discolored, and you had brought that up during the last meeting. So we have called out to replace those, and the elevations have been updated to show that. So any discoloration or any of the discolored panels would be replaced in kind. Okay, so responses to or updates from the Ramble letter. We provided updated lighting cut sheets and a plan for the location of the light. Okay. There's also comments about using a smaller sign for the pickup signage. All of those updates have been made for the locations mentioned in that letter. And then, so that was all the official letters that we had received. Just during the meeting, there was some back and forth. There was something brought up about the construction schedule, just how they would approach the construction. It's not 100% clear of when this will happen, but like we talked about last week, it would be done so that it wouldn't impact this, really. And any other construction projects that were to happen they would either work concurrently or just they would obviously make the most sense of the situation to allow construction to not impact the store and use of the store customers, things like that. There was a mention of some landscaping on the north end of the parking lot, kind of as you're exiting the parking lot. That was overgrown, and we have called that out in our drawings to be addressed, and trimmed back, just to make sure that sight line is kept. And that's included in the landscaping SSM1. Okay. And then there was a discussion about potentially causing a traffic, bottleneck when, with our new location. And, the Walmart team reviewed that, and really with the additional stalls and the additional amount of pickup, that's the goal, is to reduce that congestion in that area with the additional stalls. That kind of wraps up everything that we had talked about last week, and the comments we had received. Happy to field any additional questions.
We'll open the questions. Jim?
I'm good. Right.
Excuse me. Chuck?
Thanks for addressing that line of sight, position there, because that was kind of tough. And, early on, there was something mentioned about the width of the parking lanes. Is that all taken care of?
Yeah, they took that out.
So we're all set there then?
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, that's about it. Thank you.
Mary?
I'm good, thank you.
Zach?
I'm all set. Thank you.
I have just one question on the signage. So this sign here, it looks to be 2 foot by 5 foot. And it's showing it over here somewhere.
So I believe that's the what they call the banners, so that kind of what would hang on the higher up on the light post. More of a, I would say less of like a post mounted sign, and one of those banners you might see, at a shopping center, or, in a town or something like that. So that's what those are, I believe what you're pointing to.
That's what it looks like now, yeah. I think there were more before.
Well, those other ones were approaching that size. I think they were smaller,
Yeah,
but those are the ones.
yeah, I just wanted to get a feel for how it's gonna be hung and.
Maybe a detail looking through here. Yeah,
Yeah, that's the only detail I saw.
there is a like post detail, but it's for camera mount. I would have to just double check these plans. It doesn't give an exact height of how that would be done, but we could easily provide just a photo of another site with something similar.
Is it horizontal or vertical?
It would be kind of how it's shown in the detail there, how it would hang. Basically, the pole would be, all right, if you could show that plan again.
Yes.
I think the pole would run vertically here, and the pickup kind of would be here. So if my arm was the pole, and then the sign was my hand. And I think that's mostly just for a sightline visual from the, as you're pulling into that, you'd be able to see that, and then
Yeah, I get it. I just wanted to get a feel for how it was gonna be there.
yeah, it would be mounted kind of vertically. I like that, so it wouldn't stick out or anything like that. So it would be that 2 feet would be the short off the pole, and then the longer would run horizontal or vertical with the pole.
And it's just one
Yeah.
visual from both sides, I would presume.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if we have to stipulate that or. We can do what? I don't need it to be modified. You need to be clarified. It's not described anywhere how it hangs there. So it's gonna be on a pole, vertical. It's gonna be attached to a pole, right?
It would be attached to a pole, generally with two just mounts, top and bottom, and it's usually a type of like, I don't know, fabric. I don't know if fabric's the right term, but kind of a, you know, you would see a little wave movement in it rather than a stiff metal sign. I can, I would be,
Like a canvas?
yeah, can't.
Are the letters cascading down?
Yeah, that's fine. I don't want to hold them up for it. I just want to feel for it. Correct.
And, you know, if it's something we could provide a photo of another site or something, yeah.
Yeah, I'm comfortable with this.
That's fine.
Is that a two-sided sign or?
Yeah, I believe, yes. it would be.
Okay.
Mike, anything? Oh, good. Steve?
In the first meeting that I attended, I asked if there was any newly proposed building signage because we received an application. Jeremy was going to get that incorporated into these plans. I don't know if you have or have not.
I mean, what we're showing on these plans and the architectural should be the latest and greatest, so.
Yeah, I didn't think the original set of plans had any. Yeah.
Do you know what the, you know, location or what the signage was?
No, I know it's a separate sign company. I had mentioned it to, and maybe that's just it there now. Maybe we could update it on the plans.
This is the latest architectural elevation, and this is updated to include like the opaque update. So this would be the latest every signage, at least on the building.
Okay, is up higher in that drawing, Mark? Is there a sign up there? Yeah.
Oh, one more sign, yeah.
This looks like this is the detail of the sign they're showing here.
Okay. All right. That's it. Thanks.
Mark, anything additional? I'll make a motion for our standard seeker. Do we have a second? Second. Mr. Duval,
Yes.
Mr. Abbey,
Yes.
Ms. Scanlon,
Yes.
Mr. Wilkie,
Yes.
and I vote yes on the seeker. Neil, would you propose a motion for approval, please? And would somebody like to make that a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Do we have a second? Mr. Duval,
Yes.
Mr. Abbey,
Yes.
Ms. Scanlon,
Yes.
Mr. Wilkie,
Yes.
and I vote yes. You're all set. Thank you.
Great.
Good luck with it.
Everybody, appreciate it.
Have a good night. Next agenda item is an amended site plan review continuation. This is for the proposed Dollar General at 6046 East Taft Road. Good evening. Welcome back. Good evening. How's it going? How are you tonight?
Good. Long trip, so I might be still a little sleepy.
A long trip.
I've been up since 5 trying to come here.
Oh, my goodness.
So we did we need to give a little summary. We did a couple of back and forth on multiple different options of how to deal with the block wall. We had more conversations in depth with Steve. And the decision was made to revert back to what this board had approved. The original split face, wall. So we're gonna take down the wall that was installed and come back up with, the same thing that this body approved in, was it August? August.
It was a while ago.
August 30th of something, those elevations that show the split face. So we would like to, I guess, rescind our application for the amended plan. I guess we have to officialize it with the board and I don't know how next steps would look like.
So they could just withdraw the amended.
You're back where you were in the very beginning. Correct. Yeah.
No action by us.
So we don't vote again.
You're all set?
They have,
You're all set? You need it in writing? Or we have,
What is the one that was approved?
this application, amended.
oh,
Right thing.
Yeah, they're gonna go with the original, which that was.
terrific. I'm sorry you had to drive all the distance.
Oh, it's okay. It's, we gotta officialize it and make sure we go through the process.
Yeah.
Yeah, no issues at all.
All right, we're all set then.
Thank you.
Have a good night. Next item on the agenda, this is a sketch plan review. This is for a proposed hardware store at 8379 Thompson Road. Good evening. Welcome.
Thank you. My name is Clark Porter and I am the store and location owner of the proposed Ace Hardware.
So you're the building owner. You own the building.
Yes, sir.
And so this was an existing Rite Aid and they're looking to convert it to an Ace Hardware.
That's correct.
Did you want to go review anything or you just want to open it to questions? How do you want to handle it?
So it was kind of a surprise that I needed to attend for, outside of the signage thing. Steve has brought me up to speed on that, but just taking an existing retail building, including the existing fixtures that were inside the building, and repurposing it into an Ace Hardware. This will be the second time I've done this with a pharmacy.
Open it to, let me just start, just so there's an understanding. This line here, this is the new line from where they're putting their roundabout in?
Are you asking me that?
Yes.
That's my assumption.
Are we gonna continue on a site plan review? I assume somebody's gonna provide a new site plan that reflects that, what's happening with parking and that kind of thing?
So my understanding is that we need to eliminate 2 parking spots and that the state, again, this is based on the previous owner and at the real estate transaction. The state is going to recurve all that and such. So we may lose, based on that photo, 1, 2, 3 parking spots. This site has double the amount of parking spots of any of my other locations. Ace Hardware isn't generally a place people come to hang out in.
I figured that.
I don't foresee, actually, I'm quite confident that parking won't be a concern or an issue if we eliminated a third of it. But the intent is to try to repurpose everything I possibly can for affordability.
Looks like maybe 5 spots.
I
2 here,
don't believe so.
3 here.
Resolve this issue, I think, we need a new site plan. It should reflect how that site's gonna be operated. Are there areas of outdoor storage? Is it gonna remain striped the same? That had a drive-through, what's happening with that? Relative to the issue you're talking about, what the site plan should reflect is the plans that the DOT has, and how does that integrate with the site? And if they're encroaching and parking spaces need to be removed, that should be reflected on the plans.
I assumed we were gonna get to that point.
Yeah, so, we need a site plan that shows how the site will operate as the Ace Hardware, and again, show area. Right now, there's stuff all over the place in the park, kind of that, and remain there, is that outdoor storage? So again, we need a site plan that reflects the future conditions of both the road and the site.
Agreed.
You need a site plan that requires the road.
An updated site plan that will reflect what's gonna happen on the site.
Okay.
Traffic pattern, the lots that, simple things like the lots that aren't gonna be there need to be gone. the traffic flow, how it's gonna work. One of the questions I was gonna ask was, you know, a lot of times with hardware stores, they have materials outside. Is that gonna happen here at all? If so, where? What, you know, that kind
We,
of thing.
we will have palletized goods specifically in the spring, and of course your ice melts and stuff. A majority of that will be held, in the lane
Hmm.
that was the drive-through on that side of the building.
Yeah, so all this needs to be reflected on the new site plan.
Okay.
It has to be put together.
Is there a time frame for the road construction to be done before?
I think they're doing it this year, spring.
And his plan has to incorporate,
Yeah, they've got to work with this, the site, the new site plan is gonna have to work within that modification that the state's doing.
We
It looked to
can-
me like that was the new line, but
We can agree that we're going to, the major change based on the roundabout is gonna be the loss of 4 parking spots. Does that make sense based on that photo?
your architect's gonna have to work that out
Um,
and then present it.
that, to me, it just feels like I'm not Dollar General, I'm not Walmart. It seems like seems like common sense could prevail. I was shocked when I had to submit close to well over $3,000 for architect and engineering review of a previously approved retail space. High functioning, I would presume, although not that high functioning because it closed.
There's-
It is it's a burden, to be frank.
I understand that,
When we know we're eliminating 4 parking spots and there will be
but
palletized goods.
I understand that, but there's a lot more than that,
Sure.
right? And I'm not Ace Hardware or whoever else. We represent the town of Cicero. We have rules, regulations, codes that we have to abide by. And I know that everything's expensive these days, but we're still gonna abide by our normal procedures, unfortunately.
So a site plan would be to have an architect or an engineer more or less redraw this, changing it with a narrative that discusses outside storage and stuff, or
There's
Yeah.
the code has what's required on a site.
It's been provided.
So you need to go through that list and make sure you provide everything on that list.
and I believe we submitted what was their site plan. Is that?
You
through
said-
Rite Aid's?
You submitted this survey and it was, what you submitted was limited. You're here for sketch plan review. When we initially spoke, I sent you immediately the list of things that were required on a site plan. Those that are applicable to you would need to be show on a site plan. I discussed with you concerns about outdoor storage, signage, the drive-through, same things that are brought up tonight. So you would have to prepare a site plan, as the chairman is telling you, based off the current survey and show how you're going to use the site relative to parking, site circulation, outdoor storage, signage, et cetera.
Okay, that wasn't provided to you then.
No,
Okay.
no.
Just this.
Yeah.
And the signs. You know, landscaping, there's a list of things that they'll have to go through.
Okay,
Yeah, I do like that trailer that's out there looking like a toolbox.
thank you.
That's cool.
I'm sure that doesn't go.
I'll be glad to see that Rite Aid sign gone too. And have-
So I don't know if you got any more information on the Rite Aid sign from the state.
They pulled it.
It's my understanding the state owns the Rite Aid sign.
Okay, great.
That's my understanding.
Okay, thank you.
The sign by the road looks like it's down, or it was taken down.
It's my understanding that the
Yeah.
state owns it.
Yeah.
That's what was explained to me with the purchase of the property.
Hmm.
So that wasn't mine.
Oh, so the state's gonna pick it up?
Presumably.
Okay.
less expensive.
Probably have to cut it up to get it out of there.
It's stout. It's got a 10-foot circle of concrete. on
It, I was
top.
gonna say, it's a
Exactly.
big.
Yeah, it's no small
mounted
job.
concrete on it.
You just bought the building?
I did.
Yeah.
Am I all set or is there additional?
Any other
questions or-
additional questions at this point?
No?
I just
No.
want to say that I think it's a good fit for the space and I'm happy you're here.
Thank you.
Cicero.
Appreciate
So
it.
although you have some additional work to do.
Yeah,
it'll
we
be
look,
worth it,
Mhm.
and-
look forward to seeing you.
Pardon?
Look forward to seeing you in
Thank you.
town.
Appreciate that. Thank you. Anything else?
Mike,
No, we're good.
Steve?
No, we'll just, hope Mark, you'll hold off for comments until you get more plans.
Yeah, I mean, until we get a plan that's closer to what. Closer to meeting the requirements of the site plan. If you do have a consultant that, you need, feel free to have.
That site's larger than most of the other piece.
The blacktop portion of that site is larger, yes.
So the other closest is that in Brewerton? It's an Ace Hardware there?
Oh, so that's not mine. No, Watertown, Governor in North and in St. Lawrence County.
Or the other?
All set?
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Yeah.
Thanks.
That concludes our agenda items. Any questions or comments from our team? Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Meeting is adjourned. Have a good night all.
Getting